to the table as someone who is going to sit with the people who are, there are 1.4 billion people of African descent in the world. 1.5. So this is a big deal. They're saying, you come to the table, sit with us as an official, not just an observer, as an official, and let's together craft the future of the Africa that we want. Why is this important? I wrote a book recently called Black Truths, Healing 500 Years of Colonial Lies. And this is what I'm proposing to you guys. If you see a Japanese man homeless in the city of Toronto, you're saying, it doesn't make sense. It must be a social experiment. There is no way a Japanese guy with that braids and everything can be homeless in Toronto. But if you see a black man driving a nice car, very often the first thing is, what do they do? What do they do? You know what I mean? Yeah. The reason is this. The Chinese guy or the Japanese guy is enjoying the narrative that has been propagated concerning them. Yeah. That's what they're benefiting from. Yeah. So when they show up, you just think they're computer whiz. Yeah. They can tap on two things and they will invade the FBI's database. Yeah. That's what you think. Yeah. But when it comes to black folk, you think differently. Let me tell you why. Because the world has crafted a narrative concerning those of the African continent, which is derogatory, and the world, you see, when COVID broke out, we knew it was from China. But you know what the Chinese did? They said it was black people from Africa who did it. Guess what happened? Landlords kicked them out of their houses, and they kicked them out of their jobs. That was only possible because of the narrative that the world has concerning people of African descent. Now, this is my point. I'm landing now. The point is this. Until we contribute to recreate the narrative that is known of you and me and of our foreparents, we will always suffer anti-black racism at the hands of everybody else in the world. That is the core of my thesis. And let me tell you something else. Go and do your research. Africa is the richest continent in the world. Period. No. Come on, hear this now. This is not just some brother who is passionate and wants to say some stuff. Okay, I can't tell you that I am light-skinned because I am not. That would just be a fantasy. All right? I am telling you as a fact. Africa is the richest continent in the world. But you know what has happened? Have you ever gone to a pawn shop to sell anything? A Gucci watch or something? Well, listen, maybe you all look very rich, so you probably never needed to do that. I had to go and pawn some stuff when these guys were babies, okay? And when you go to the pawn shop, you know what they do? They say to you, oh man, Gucci watch, I don't need your Gucci watch, man. We don't need it, it has no value, right? And then they let you walk to the door, and they're like, you know what, come on, let me help you out. I will help you out. I'll give you $150. And that's what you pay $2,000 for. Yep. This is what has happened with Africa. Yep. They have this pawn shop manipulation. Have convinced us that we have nothing worth anything. And the only time it's worth anything is if they come and make something of it. Well, listen to me. That story is of the old days. We are recrafting the narrative. I fly first class to Africa. Listen to me. The only people who come first class are Europeans and Chinese and Indians. Why are they going to the place that is so poor when... You get what I'm saying? They pay all that money because they know what is in there. But the narrative they have spun that most people believe is that there is nothing in Africa. That is a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so privileged to be on the board of directors of the African Union 6th region. Yes, sir. I introduce to you Dr. Macaulay Kalu. This is the visionary behind the African Union 6th region globally. He is the man who went to the 55 presidents Try talking to one president. Imagine having 55 of the most powerful men and women in the world listening to your proposal that Africa needs to have a 6th region outside. It's 6 because there are 5 regions in Africa. The 6th is the diaspora. To be able to conceptualize and to build and to lobby and to pray and to speak and to convince until they said, you know what, you are right. Let's get it done. And now they're saying we're at a point where the structure is being created. We want to appoint some diplomats that is going to work with us to make this thing happen. That, sir, is you. Ma'am, that's who they're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother, the Reverend Dr. Macaulay Kalu, I present him to you. Come, sir, and just give us a few